I made the decision to start grad school, and I just recently got married back in June. It's been about 3 months since we've been married. Um, and I was actually planning on starting grad school immediately after my undergrad, and I graduated in April of last year. So basically, I was supposed to start August of 2012, and I ended up starting this year. So it's been a little hard for me to get the motivation to get back into school, and I realized there's a lot of other people who've been out of school for longer periods of time that I just counseling is my dream, and I always have to remind myself of that it is what I want to be doing with my life. But then at times I lack the motivation, like when I'm trying to do homework, I don't know what it is. Maybe because I'm lazy, maybe it's because I've been out of school for a year and I just got out of the habit of doing homework. I don't know what it is. And then there's the issue of I want to be a mom. And I don't want to be a mom at the same time of being in grad school. I've seen other people do it and it looks like too much of a challenge. And I don't mean that to say I'm not up for the challenge, but I have this contrasting dreams, really. Because I do want to be a mom and I do want to be a counselor, but I want to be there for my children and not have to be working when they're young. And so now that I started grad school, I'm thinking in my head, like there's a timeline. I have to, I need to graduate in 2 years and then do my LPCI and do everything within another 2 years. So basically I need to be done, within a certain amount of time so I can start having kids. And I do this a lot. I set like timelines for myself and I think I have to do it by this time or I've failed at life. I mean, that's an extreme, but that's how I think. But really right now what's been a struggle is I see people, moms who are pregnant or people who have kids, and I want that. I really want to have kids and I want to be a mom, but at the same time I want to be a successful counselor. I've always wanted that. And so I kind of have these like mixed emotions about what I want out of life, I guess.
So you seem a bit overwhelmed with so many major life events.
Exactly. I mean, I just got married. I mean, that's a big life change if nothing else is. I mean, it's a positive one, but it's a life change. So, and then coming to grad school, I mean, it's just another life change. And it's totally different from undergrad. And I'm trying to adjust myself because I was a almost perfect A student in undergrad. And I'm just having trouble adjusting to the difference, I guess, here in graduate school and how it's just so different. And so, yeah, there's just a lot of adjustments, and I'm just trying to process it all, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems like you're taking it one thing at a time. You first got married, and then now 3 months later you started grad school. But now you've added another thought about maybe becoming a mother.
Exactly. And it's a lot. I don't want to jump into anything. Like, I calculated all my steps, to get married, to come to grad school, and so I don't want to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to get pregnant. That's just not how I am,
Now, the steps have kind of came out of alignment as to what you had in mind by a few months, but nevertheless, you're still accomplishing it, right?
Exactly. I am actually, and you're right. I get kind of upset about that whenever I don't accomplish them in my order, but then it always ends up working out anyway. So it's not like, it's the end of the world where I'm going to totally screw up if I, miss my timeline. But I don't know, I think I just put maybe undue stress on myself for having to complete my life timeline or something. And so I'm just trying to figure out what the best order is as far as, I guess, the next step of having kids. And I know I should probably just enjoy this time of being newly married and starting grad school, but I always try to think ahead, and maybe this time it's too far ahead, and I should just kind of put the brakes on it. I don't know.
Okay. So it seems a little bit overwhelming because you really don't know which path to take right now, or how much to advance it and what time frame.
Exactly. I don't. Like I said, I want kids, but I don't want to bring them into the world and me not be able to be there for them and being a nurturing, responsible mother. And, not that moms who work and have kids are anything bad, but that's just my desires. I want to be there for them up until at least they start school, to be able to be a stay-at-home mom with them. And so right now with grad school, it's just, I couldn't really do that. I mean, I could, it would just be a big adjustment, and
It wouldn't be another thing on your plate, another
Exactly.
thing to think about, another major life event.
exactly, and I know I should, just kind of put it aside, but I don't know, it always keeps coming up. I think it's just, baby fever, my body's just telling me, you need to have babies now.
When did you ideally see yourself having children?
I'm 26 now, I also saw myself having kids. I think in my whole timeline, I said I'm going to be married by, like 22 or 23 and kids by like 24 or 25-ish. And so, I just turned 26, so I just kind of...
You're about a year off your timeline?
Exactly, it's dumb, I know, and there's still, people are like, you're so young, but I just feel, I don't know, sometimes I just feel like life is getting away from me, and if I spend all this time on my career, am I going to miss out on being a mom? I think that's maybe what I'm afraid of, is that I'll miss out and, I don't know, not be able to have kids. I don't really know exactly what I'm afraid of, but yeah.
So, how old was your mother when she had children, or you, or how many brothers and sisters?
I'm the oldest. My mom had me when she was 20 years old. So, I mean, it was a different time, obviously. She got married really young, when she was 20. I can say really young, but to me that's young. And yeah, she started having kids. She was a stay-at-home mom. And I hate to say she pressured me, but she always asks, when am I going to have grandkids? And so it's something that she is passionate about, being a stay-at-home mom, and so I think I internalize that too, and not that I resent it or that I want to like get rid of that value, but I do, because my mom stayed at home and I saw the value in it. I saw how, what it did for me and my siblings. I want the same for my kids, and so I think maybe also, comes from family stuff that I see myself as, needing to have kids soon or something. Yeah.
What does your husband say about that?
He does not want kids anytime soon. He sometimes jokingly says he never wants kids. He does, but I think it makes him really nervous. That's just my opinion, is that it makes him nervous.
Because it's another life-changing event.
Exactly.
The major one, yes.
And for him, yeah, it's another mouth to feed. Not that I'm a burden, but I think he really worries, with the job he has right now. There's no way we could, support a child, and we have a one-bedroom apartment, so it's not doable right now. It's just something that I still think about, and so, yeah, he's on the logical side that says, no, we financially can't have a kid right now, so.
And you're not employed?
No, I'm not at this time. We had both decided that I should just focus on grad school and get it done, not as quickly as possible and rushing through it, but just kind of get it done first, and then I'll get a job as a, therapist, and I'll start getting my hours and get on the way to getting my license, and then, I'll have a job and then be working, and he'll still have his job too, because he has 2 jobs right now. So we've tried to work through it all, but
so in that timeline, where does your children come in your view? And what you just explained to me about grad school, finishing quickly, and then getting your career going as a counselor, and then you said, right, what did you say after that?
yeah, then start working, I guess. So I guess the way I picture it is I would, finish grad school, and then hopefully get a job where I'm, getting paid to get my hours and be the LPC intern, and just starting to get my full LPC so I could practice on my own. So at that point, I don't know how much time it would take. I think it could take up to 2 years for you to get your full, licensure, from what I understand. So at this point, that puts me at 30 having kids, which I always said I wanted to have all my kids before I was 30. Another one of my timeline things that is gonna be thrown off, I guess. Because if I do wait, by the time I, have a really well-paying job and it's pretty stable and I'm fully licensed and everything, and then what I'll actually all of a sudden just like quit and go back to and go to be a stay-at-home mom. So I don't know where it all falls in, and I know everyone does it so differently. I mean, people all the time have kids and go to grad school and are working moms. I know it's possible. I would like to be a stay-at-home mom, and so it gets me kind of nervous that it's going to be so much later, as as far as me being 30 or older by the time I have kids. And I know I'm probably in enough physical shape to do it. I just don't. Again, silly, but my timeline thrown off. So.
Yeah. Okay, so if you really said, I want everything perfect, and this is how perfect it can be, what I hear about your timeline and your ideal, it would be, you would be a stay-at-home mom. You would have already been graduated with your master's, but then that would put you at 30, which is not your ideal.
Yeah.
To start your family.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, I think it seems like you have some decisions to make, and since you're really focused on your time frame, then it's something that you would have to have a give and take, possibly, and talk things out with your husband, see his view on things too, but try to see maybe some adjustments in timeline.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's where the resolve will be, is whenever I settle it in my mind that it doesn't have to be done by my book, of silly timelines. I can do it differently. So yeah, I think it's just going to be a kind of a refiguring. Obviously, right now, no kids for a while. We just got married, but I don't know. I maybe it'll just I'll feel like it's the right time when it's time to have kids. So I think, yeah, right now I probably just need to focus on focus on grad school and not worry about the later stuff. Worry about the later stuff later. So yeah, I think it's just gonna have to be a reconfiguring, like you said. It doesn't all have to go like my plan. I get anxious when it doesn't for weird reasons.
Maybe working out some options and trying to analyze your ideal, what your actual is, and finding a median.
It's a great idea, actually. Yeah. Like you said, there's other options, so I think we're gonna have to sit down and figure a new timeline maybe that'll make me feel better about having kids later. I don't know. So yeah, we'll have to just kind of see how it goes. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.